Okay, guys, back at you here with another video. First things first, go Arsenal. Great team. Love them. Second off, we're going to go through some more problems here of finding equations of lines, okay? And we're given a little bit less information for these problems, which makes them a little bit harder. So we're going to need to do a little bit more work to find these answers, okay? But it's okay. I'll show you how to do it. All right. So first thing, this is a review from last time. We went over problems where they give us this amount of information and what to do. But I wanted to show you because there's a little shortcut with ones like this, okay? So this one says slope equals -4, okay? And again, if you remember, that's my m number. And before I go any further, again, what's the goal? Find the equation of the line. That means, right, all equations of lines are slope-intercept equations, right, that have the form y equals mx plus b, right? So our job is to find what the m number is and what the b number is, okay? So it's awesome when it gives me, when it says that slope equals -4, that's awesome because that's half of what I need to find, right? The m number. But then it tells me it goes through the point 0, 9, okay? And it's awesome when it says the slope is this and the y-intercept is this, right? Because b is what the y-intercept is. But it does not tell me that exactly. It says goes through the point 0, 9, okay? But let's just think about this for a second, because I said this one's a little bit of a shortcut. If I sketch a little mini graph here, if you think about the point 0, 9, what is that point? 0, 9, right? A lot of kids would make the mistake and say, okay, it's right here, right? You go over 9 spots on the x-axis, draw your point. That's not right. That would be 9, 0. 0, 9 is going up, and that would be like up here, okay? And where is that? That's right on the y-axis. And so if it's a point right on the y-axis, what does that make it? Well, this point is a way of saying what my b value is, okay? Because again, any point right on the y-axis, that means that's the y-intercept, okay? So you have to be observant and really know what to look for. But when it's 0, comma, a number, whatever that number is the b value, okay? So normally in this scenario, I would have to plug in -4 and 0 and 9 into this equation and solve for b. But when it gives me this specific type of point, I don't have to do that. I can just plug in 9 in for b, right? Because 9 is my b value. So this answer would be y equals -4x plus 9. Again, I don't have to do any work because technically it did give me my y-intercept there, just gave it to me in a different way. Okay, now looking at number 2, these are where it gets pretty tough, okay? Not tough, it's more work, okay, because they give me less helpful information, okay? So this one says it goes through the points 2, 4, and 0, -4, okay? Now, what sucks here is that, right, slope being -4, right, that tells me one of my mystery numbers that I need to find, right? Because all equations, I'm trying to find the m and b values, okay? So it doesn't tell me what the slope is explicitly, which is rough, okay? So we're gonna have to find that. We're gonna have to do something to find that, okay? And then my b number, right, it does not say the y-intercept is this, okay? So when it does that, that's helpful because that's my b value. But if you remember what I just said, 0, 9, right? 0, something is a way of giving me the y-intercept, okay? And look at this, 0, -4, okay? So you have to know to look for that. If you don't know to look for that, then you're kind of stuck doing it the very long way. So it doesn't happen every time, right? I just wanted to do it for these two just so, again, you would know to hopefully look for it later on. But when it's 0, whatever the number is, that number is the b value. Okay, that's a point right on the y-axis. So technically, I do know my b value here. It's -4. Okay. Now the slope, again, we haven't dealt with a problem where it hasn't told me the slope first. Okay. So what do? Well, if you remember from Unit 2, we have a formula that we can use to find the slope if I'm given just 2 points. Okay. Because again, what am I given here? If I sketch my mini graph, okay, 2, 4, and 0, -4, right? This would kind of be what I'm given. I'm just saying, hey, there's these 2 points and a line goes through them. Find the equation, okay? And again, you could sketch that and count how many spaces it's moving. That's fine. But a lot of the time with these problems, you're not going to be given a graph, okay? So you're going to need to know the alternate way of doing this mathematically. And so what do? Well, if you remember, we have that slope formula. And what is that? Well, that's that formula that says m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, right? Subtract your two y values on top, subtract your two x values on bottom, okay? And I'm given 2 points, okay? So I'm able to do that here, okay? Right, I have an x and a y value here, and I have an x and a y value here, okay? So I can plug those into my slope formula, and that will tell me what my slope is, okay? And again, you might not remember. What are my little 2's and 1's here? Again, that's just going with, right, the 1's are telling you, okay, the values from the first point, and the 2's are the values from the second point. So if I do that here, okay, my y value is the second y value minus the first y value. So negative 4 minus the first y value, so minus 4. Negative 4 minus 4. Okay, so that's on top. On bottom, the second x value minus the first x value. So 0 minus 2. Okay, that's on bottom. And so if I simplify that, negative 4 minus 4 is not 0. Negative 4 minus 4 is negative 8. And then 0 minus 2 on the bottom, 0 minus 2 is negative 2. Okay, so negative 8 over negative 2. Okay, and yes, I can simplify that because a negative over a negative is a positive. Okay, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. Okay, so this simplifies to a positive 4 or 4 over 1, either way. Okay, so what did I just find? I just found my m value, right? The slope formula tells you your slope, your m value. Okay, so my slope is 4, and my y-intercept, I was told from the beginning in this sneaky way, it's negative 4. So my final answer here is y equals m4 times x plus b, or it's negative 4, so it would be minus 4. Okay, so 4x minus 4 is that equation, okay? So I told you a little bit more work for these when you're given less information, okay? We'll just do 2 more, and then we'll be all set. All righty, so 3 and 4, okay? 2 of the toughest problems that we'll see in this unit, okay? So 3, okay, it says it goes through the points negative 4, negative 3, and negative 7, negative 6, okay? So again, just what am I given here? So all I know right now about this line that I'm supposed to find the equation of is that it goes through the point negative 4, negative 3, and negative 7, negative 6. That's all I know. Okay, there's these 2 random points. This line goes through those 2, and I'm supposed to find the equation of that. Okay, so a lot of work. Okay, it's a lot of work because I'm not given a ton of helpful information. Okay, but I can use this. I can still use what I'm given to find the equation. It's just going to be a little bit more work. Okay. Again, what do? Okay, because again, my goal here is to find the m and the b value, okay? And I'm not given m, it doesn't say slope equals this. And I'm not given the y-intercept, it doesn't say y-intercept equals this. And again, my little shortcut from before, none of these points have 0, comma, whatever, or 0, comma, whatever. None of these points are given that are technically, that neither of these would be right on the y-axis. So I can't use either of these as my y-intercept either. Okay, so what do? Well, again, my slope formula is a good place to start when you're given nothing, okay? Because even though it's some work, it's a little bit of work, your slope formula will still tell you this helpful m value, okay? So again, I take my 2 values, right, x and y, I take these and I substitute them in to the slope formula. Okay, so the second y value minus the first y value up top, okay? So negative 6 minus negative 3, you remember that when it's always subtracting, but when it's a negative value, it's going to be minus that negative value. Okay, and if you remember, what do I do with a minus negative? Well, I can just change that to a plus, right? Because subtracting a negative is a positive, okay? And then on bottom, second x value minus first x value, so that's going to be negative 7 minus negative 4. Okay, same thing, minus a negative, change it to a big plus. So this is what I have. Okay, so negative 6 plus 3 gives me a negative 3. Negative 7 plus 4 also gives me a negative 3. So negative 3 divided by negative 3, well, what is that? Negative 3 divided by negative 3 is positive 1. Okay, something divided by itself is equal to 1. Okay, so what did I just find? I just found my slope. Okay, I found my m value. And unfortunately, I'm not done yet, okay, because that's only part of what I need to find. I found my m value. I still need to find my b value. I don't know that yet. okay? So how do I find that? Well, you think about the last video that we did, right? When I was given, it said slope equals this, and it goes through this point. Technically, I'm at a place where I know that much information now, right? I just found what the slope is, so that's an m value. And remember, I have these points, and these points serve as x and y values that I can use to plug in here. Okay, so try to follow me. Okay, you can pick either one of these points. It doesn't matter because both of these will work. Okay, I usually pick the one with the lower numbers. Okay, because that's a little easier. That's a little easier to deal with. My m, my x, and my y are all going in here, just like the original problems that we did. Okay, so -3 in for y, 1 in for m, and -4 in for x. And again, you might be asking, well, why didn't you choose this point? It doesn't matter. Either way, you'll get the problem correct. It doesn't matter which point you use, okay? You could even check that yourself. You could try it with this point and check me on that, make sure that it works. Trying to find my b value. And again, I have m, x, and y all in here, okay? So I need to get b by itself. So I multiply these, m times x, so that's -4. So -3 equals -4 plus b. And then to get the b by itself, I need to cancel this -4. So I add 4 to both sides. And so I get b equals -3 plus 4 is 1. Okay? And what did I just find there? I found my b value, my other missing piece of the puzzle, which means now I'm done. Okay? Now I'm done. And well, I'm done with the work. I still need to put these values into the equation. Okay? So my final answer is y equals the m number, which is 1, times x plus the b value, which is also +1. So 1x plus 1 is my slope-intercept equation of this line. Now, number 4, same thing. Okay, try to get the process of it here because it's going to be the same as the last one, and then we're all set. So for this one, again, goes through the points 8, 5, and 12, 4. Okay, again, I do my checks. Do I have my slope? No, it doesn't tell me that. Do I have my y-intercept? No, it doesn't tell me that. And neither of these points have 0 as the x value, so neither of these points are my y-intercept either. So I have to go through the long process of doing the slope formula and then plugging in the values to find b later. Okay, so my slope first, again, slope, you find it with the slope formula. So label your points. Okay, so I'm told my y values are, second y value is 4, first y value is 5. So I do 4 minus 5, right, y2 minus y1, over the x values on bottom, x2 minus x1. So second x value is 12 minus first x value is 8. So 12 minus 8. But I still subtract these, okay, so 4 minus 5 is -1. 12 minus 8 is 4, okay? So my slope here is -1/4, -1/4. And I don't reduce that because it can't reduce. That is fully reduced. So what did I just found? I found my slope, my m value. So I'm good. I found that, okay? My one piece of the puzzle. Now I got a second piece of the puzzle here is b. And again, how do I find that? I take my slope that I just found, and then I pick either one of these points. It doesn't matter which one. I did the first one here. I plugged in right, -4 and -3. Just to show you, I'll do the second one here, 12 and 4. Just again, it doesn't matter which one, okay? So I plug 1/4 in for m, I plug 4 in for y, and 12 in for x, okay? All at the same time. So 4 equals m times x, so -1/4, the m or the x value 12 plus b. And I multiply the m and the x, so -1/4 times 12 is -3. It's basically the same as dividing it by 4, or -4. And then, right, so I have 4 equals -3 plus b. And the last step is to add 3 to both sides. So I get 4 plus 3 is 7 is my b value. 7 is my b value. So -1/4 is m, 7 is b. So I found both pieces of my puzzle, and now my final answer is just putting it all together in the equation. So y equals -1/4 x plus 7 is my slope-intercept equation of this mystery line. So that is the dealio. That is finding the equations of lines when you're just given 2 points, okay? So those, again, are some of the toughest ones we'll do. So if you're getting it at all, good job. This is tough stuff, okay? So if you're getting it and understanding it at all, awesome. If you still need help with it, again, send me an email. But that's it for this video. Good job. Thanks for following.